Hello, everybody. It is a great time to be a Subnautica fan right now. If you didn't know, Subnautica 2 was announced about a month ago at the time that I'm recording this, and a trailer was released. So I want to watch it with you all, give my reactions, give my predictions, and my hopes and dreams for Subnautica 2. I did look at the trailer whenever it first was released, but I haven't seen it since then. If you have any predictions of your own, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd like to see what we can kind of guess before there's more information out about the game, or maybe if the Subnautica team is watching this video, they can maybe take some of our suggestions into consideration, maybe. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just watch the trailer. I'll give my commentary and then we'll kind of go back and look at certain things. Right off the bat, this makes me nervous of our character just falling into the abyss. Gorgeous visuals though, this really reminds me of Below Zero. All right, some sort of enemy or just creature. This I feel like is we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. This I truly just think is like an ode or a hint to just there being co-op in the game. And then getting you scared. Why are all the little fishies going away? Leviathan of some sort. Really looks like the Shadow Leviathan from Below Zero in the crystal biome. Subnautica 2. So that's all we get. That's our trailer. But let's go back. I want to talk about a couple things specifically. I would say that I am most confused about this. I'm confused about this like tornado thing that kind of sucks you down deeper into the biome. I don't know if that's going to take us to a different part of the map. Like if it's a danger zone, if it's a dead zone, I don't really know what it is. I feel like this is going to be some sort of game mechanic, something that we have to follow. And based on the trailer, it seems like we, are in danger from going into this like critical oxygen level after he got way down there. We die from this Leviathan that's there, I don't know why our oxygen, I don't know if you guys noticed that. Did you notice that? Did you see how the warning went away? Hold on, after she waves at us. See how that goes away? I don't know if that means anything, but I just want to point that out because I noticed it. And I don't know if this purple has anything to do with like that different biome or if it's just pretty. I don't know. Other than the trailer, we do have some gameplay photos. These really, really remind me of the graphics of Below Zero. I did really enjoy the graphics of Below Zero versus the first game. But it looks like, again, just like both games, we have a couple of different biomes, a couple different areas to explore. New creatures, we've got our same little fishies, but we've got, some bigger enemies. This one scares me because it looks like a lava zone. And I hate the lava zone. It's the worst. So love that we get to do that again. And then, we've got scanning because we're always scanning things. Now, what I wanted to compare is the description of both games. I feel like they are very similar. Like they're all kind of saying the same thing. So for Subnautica, descend into the depths of an alien underwater world filled with wonder and peril, craft equipment, pilot submarines, and outsmart wildlife to explore lush coral reefs, volcanoes, cave systems, and more, all while trying to survive. Subnautica Below Zero's description reads, dive into a freezing underwater adventure on an alien planet. Below Zero is set 2 years after the original Subnautica. Return to planet 4546b to uncover the truth behind a deadly cover-up. Survive by building habitats, crafting tools, and diving deeper into the world of Subnautica. Subnautica 2's description reads, immerse yourself in a new adventure with Subnautica 2, an open water survival game from the creators of the Subnautica series. Play alone or with friends as you explore alluring biomes and discover fascinating creatures. Craft vehicles, tools, and bases to survive in this mysterious alien world. All of the descriptions are very similar, just saying that it's a survival craft game. So I found a couple of tidbits in the Steam description that I wanted to point out. First of all, It's an all new alien ocean world. So I don't think that we are on 4546b. I am assuming it's still going to be very similar. I think it's going to be a very similar map to the first Subnautica game. However, I personally think it's going to be way bigger. Below Zero, in my opinion, had a very small map. It was really easy to get all over the place, where Subnautica, you had to travel to get to the Lost River. You had to travel to get to the lava zone. Whereas I feel like getting around in Below Zero was really easy. It also says an all new story. Specifically, it mentions that we are changing what it means to be human. This makes me think that there's gonna be some sort of leveling system where we are either leveling our health, leveling our oxygen intake, something where we're like literally upgrading ourselves in a similar fashion to how we would upgrade a sea moth, a tool, or another vehicle. There's maybe resources that we have to find, and we're able to literally change like being able to survive. I don't know if that explanation makes any sense. I am very excited about the co-op. I originally thought that it was just going to be you and one friend. So I think that it's really cool that you can have up to 3 friends for a party of 4. I feel like you'll be able to cover more area. This is also what's making me think that it's going to be a bigger map, because if you have 4 people exploring, I feel like you can cover a lot more ground. Where if we have the original map from Subnautica or even the Below Zero map, I feel like with 3 people, you'd be able to divide and conquer the game really quickly. I think that the map will be bigger to kind of compensate for that, or at least I feel like that would make sense. It also says that it will test your ingenuity and ability to adapt. So I'm wondering if maybe resources are more rare the more people that you have, on your file, however they're going to make that system work, or if the enemies are going to scale and they're going to have more health. I don't know. I don't really think that that's something that could be in the game, but it's something to just kind of like think about. Same thing as the other games. We've got our scanner, we've got our flashlight, and then more advanced tools as we go on. Again, same thing as the other games. We've got a lot of different biomes, a lot of different ecosystems and wildlife. But again, the world is out of balance. What happened? So there's definitely, a plot, just like there was in the previous 2 games. Now, I believe that this is maybe a new item, the biosampler. So we're used to our scanner in other games, but the biosampler takes samples for study. So I'm wondering if for certain upgrades you have to scan certain samples a certain way, or like scan a certain amount of samples to learn more about it. I feel like this is going to be a new system that we haven't seen before. Again, I could be totally wrong about that. That's just kind of what I'm thinking right now. And again, I think this biosampler, based on the description, might tie into how you're evolving yourself to adapt your body for survival. So that also kind of makes me think that there's going to be some sort of leveling, something that you can do to kind of buff your stats, essentially. The world is vast and deep. Venture beyond the safety of this shallow waters, descending into a dark unknown. Just like the other games, you have your safe shallows, and then the more you explore, you're going to find more dangerous enemies, more dangerous biomes. So I am really excited for the game. I have high hopes. I really enjoyed Subnautica and Below Zero for separate reasons. Subnautica was obviously my introduction to the series, learning how to build, learning how to manage my oxygen, all that kind of stuff. Really, the core gameplay mechanics is what I was focused on in Subnautica. For me, because I was so scared to explore, I found a lot of the voice logs a lot later than I should have. And so it was really hard for me to understand what was going on until I was really trying to solve the mystery of the bacteria, and I was going into all of the alien bases and that kind of thing. Whereas Below Zero, I felt like it was a lot more straightforward of it's going, okay, go to point A, go to point B, go to point C. So it was very clear of what I had to do next, maybe to a fault, but I really liked that there was a story and there were multiple voice logs that tied in together of me trying to figure out what happened to my sister and really getting to know my character and feeling more of a connection with her. For me personally, I like playing a character where I am playing them. I'm seeing things through their point of view, where I feel like Subnautica, it was more of a self-insert. I know that you were Riley and he did have like backstory and stuff. I just felt like I could never find it and I never remembered it, honestly. So I'm really hoping that they're gonna take story elements from the first Subnautica and Below Zero and kind of mesh them together to make like a perfect combination of the 2. I'm also really hoping that there's either game mechanics or really cool vehicles that we get to have that make it feel like a different game. For example, when I played Below Zero, I felt like it was still Subnautica, but it felt different because there was a lot more land exploration. So I felt like that was kind of exploring a new biome, but also a little bit different, because obviously how your character acts on land is going to be different than how they're acting underwater. For example, you had to manage your heat, I think, when you were running around in the snow, where you didn't really have to do that underwater, except I think when you were in certain areas. And I also really like how full Below Zero felt. I just felt like each biome had a lot of stuff in it. There were a lot of things to explore. There were a lot of creatures that you could see. There was just more stuff, where I felt like Subnautica felt very empty at times. And for certain areas, it makes sense why the area is empty. For example, the dunes that I refused to go to because it was empty. But even some of the more lush biomes still felt more empty than I feel like they should have been in actuality. I don't know if that explanation makes any sense, but Below Zero just felt like there was more life. But overall, I am very excited about the game. Hopefully they drop a couple more trailers for us so we can see some more gameplay, see some more mechanics, maybe see if any of my predictions ring true. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.